belong to me.
Pray that you're never unlucky enough to spend a family bonding session watching one of these flicks. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst family movies.
We mustn't lose hope. No matter how cold and lonely it gets, Gordy will find us.
For this list, we're looking at movies that attempted to appeal to both adults and children, but ended up bombing at the box office, receiving bad reviews, or both.
We've put a few toaster waffles aside for winter, and we're not sharing.
Number 10, Kazaam.
You can't contain this! I am Kazaam!
Right as he was starting his 8-year stint as the legendary center for the Los Angeles Lakers, Shaquille O'Neal decided to take his career in a different direction, with some acting roles. He chose to star as a 5,000-year-old genie in this family comedy, which became one of the most ridiculed films of the 90s.
You realize who I am? I'm your genie!
The premise, which sees Shaq's titular genie emerge from a boombox after being found by a young boy, is absurd enough. But the film's detractors said it was made worse by a mediocre script and Kazaam's constantly creepy actions.
And you're a friend of Max's?
How sweet of you to call me a friend, but the school district more commonly refers to me as a tutor.
A tutor? Oh, the school got you a tutor.
If that's not enough, Shaq also raps repeatedly.
Watch it, boy! You don't want to diss me, or I'll dish out my misery. Now, who's that sorry wannabe that disturbed my Z's?
Number 9, GForce.
I'm pretty sure this is animal cruelty, but I love it!
Despite a surprisingly capable cast that includes Zach Galifianakis and Will Arnett, as well as the voices of Sam Rockwell and Penelope Cruz, this guinea pig-filled spy film, no joke, lacks any of the power its title may suggest.
You want some of this, you overgrown can opener?
While its action scenes may be relatively entertaining, critics say it offers little of substance to its target audience, due to its contrived action movie plot and cliche-ridden script.
Hurley, get your butt out of my face!
Get your face out of my butt!
GForce was actually a box office hit, earning almost $300 million worldwide. But that's probably only because it starred rodents with tiny guns and goggles.
Do it! Your butt's on fire! Stop, drop, and roll!
Number 8, Ghost Dad.
Aren't you tired?
I don't think ghosts get tired.
Even before his highly publicized fall from grace, this movie was considered a blot on the then distinguished resume of Bill Cosby.
Your wallet.
No! Really a Gucci! Experimentation!
Directed by legendary actor Sidney Poitier of all people, this story follows a father who dies and comes back to life as a spirit. A concept some labeled ill-conceived and kind of unfunny.
Can you move your lips to something, Dad? This is really weird.
It constantly winds up on critics' lists of the worst films of the 90s, and has even found its way onto several worst of all time lists. Among its other flaws, haters say the fantasy comedy's internal logic makes no sense, the movie features Satanists, and the plot becomes really disturbing in hindsight.
The road is that way.
And after all, the last thing anyone would want to give Bill Cosby is the ability to walk through walls.
I am a ghost. I'm no longer living.
This is a joke, right?
Number 7, Mr. Magoo.
The eggplant mobile! What? Watch your head!
It truly pains us to watch the legendary comedic talent of Leslie Nielsen being put to use in a movie this disappointing.
Ooh! Oh, I've got a strike!
In this adaptation of the classic cartoon, Nielsen plays the titular blind character, whose only purpose in life is to get into dangerous, contrived situations because of his blindness, only to then get out of said situations because of his blindness.
I like your badge.
The film received such a negative reaction from blind and nearsighted groups that Disney pulled it from theaters after only 2 weeks. Some say the only funny thing about this movie is the disclaimer at the end, saying that it was not meant to be an accurate portrayal of nearsighted or blind people. Thanks for clearing that up.
Oh, Stacy, aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
Number 6. Daddy Day Camp.
Who wants chocolate?
While 2003's Daddy Day Care definitely wasn't high art, it did have the always welcome presence of Eddie Murphy.
We have to up our game today, all right? We need some structure and some planned activities.
No, we need Ritalin and leashes. That's what we need.
But in this maligned sequel, Murphy was replaced by Cuba Gooding Jr., a man who some have said was suffering through the dreaded Oscar curse. The result is basically 90 minutes spent watching an Academy Award winner become the victim of unfortunate physical gags, interspersed with poop and vomit jokes thrown in for good measure.
G.I. Joe is turning red. Someone farted on his head. G.I. Joe is turning pink. Someone puked in the kitchen sink.
Amazingly enough, this film was directed by Fred Savage of the Wonder Years fame, who really should know more about making decent family entertainment.
I hate kids.
Number 5. Mr. Nanny.
That is it.
It's probably weird to see wrestling legend Hulk Hogan in movies meant for all ages, but he made a lot of those flicks in the 90s. Two mixed results.
From now on, you're gonna act right, 'cause I ain't leaving.
Considered the worst of these vehicles was this poor excuse for a comedy, where Hogan plays an ex-wrestler, what a stretch, who's assigned to look over the young kids of a tech mogul.
I can show you a few things about defending yourself.
Can it, Mr. Babysitter? I don't want your stupid help.
It plays out as you'd expect, with the kids initially pulling a variety of pranks on the monstrously sized Hogan, and then having him warm up to them after saving them from a threat.
I love you guys.
I love you too.
Unfortunately, critics pointed out a few problems with this one. Namely, 1. Hogan can't act. 2. The movie isn't as funny as it wants to be. And 3. It's not even that heartwarming.
We have come to play with the children. Over my dead body.
Number 4. Son of the Mask.
Go on, Albie. Do it. Do it. Stick to it!
While the original Mask wasn't exactly aimed at adults, its humor and content weren't necessarily family-friendly either. So when they decided to make a sequel 11 years later, the creators decided to gear it towards a younger audience. Or so they say.
I am Loki, god of mischief.
Yeah, and I'm Tim, god of crazy babyland. Will you get out of the way?
Why do we say that? Because this film, in which raunchy stand-up comedian Jamie Kennedy fights Alan Cummings' Loki for control of the mask, contains some of the most unintentionally disturbing imagery and questionable excuses for comedy we've ever seen.
Just give me the mask.
I don't have it. I think my dog ate it.
The worst of it comes from Kennedy's dog Otis and his son Alvy, who both possess the powers of the mask and try to compete for Kennedy's affections. This includes several instances of the dog trying to kill the baby. You know, for families.
That was flat out embarrassing.
Number 3. Mac and Me.
Debbie, what's going on?
It's okay, everybody thinks it's just a toy.
Here's a losing formula. Rip off one of the best family films of all time while amplifying the part no one asked for. The product placement. We think even advertising execs can agree that Mac and Me is shameless in every way, particularly in the way it replicates everything from Steven Spielberg's E.T., from its friendship between a young boy and an alien, to adapting its working title, E.T. and Me.
Everything's ruined. It's totally ruined. It wasn't me, Mom. It's the little creature. I saw it.
But Mac and Me is most infamous for its barely veiled product placement, which prominently includes Coca-Cola, Skittles, and, of course, McDonald's. What's next? A Ronald McDonald cameo? Oh, come on. It's like forcing your kids to watch an actual commercial, only instead of 30 seconds, it lasts 99 minutes.
You know what I feel like?
A Big Mac?
Man is a genius.
I'm psychic.
Number 2. Superbabies. Baby Geniuses 2.
Bobbin's World will be the McDonald's of daycare.
Great. We'll be known as McBaby.
Maybe the reason this sequel was made is because its 1999 predecessor was marginally successful, and its director, Bob Clark, had directed one of the greatest family films of all time, A Christmas Story.
Ralphie, you be careful out there. Don't shoot your eye out.
Unfortunately, any family who pops this one in looking to find an hour and a half of cute kids saying badly lip-synced dialogue will find just that.
Well, it's your world now, Archie. You know what? I'm just A baby.
Complementing that is a story about mind control via television, a group of CGI toddlers with superpowers jumping around, and legendary actor Jon Voight putting on a faux European accent that makes Borat sound authentic.
I should have stayed young forever. You took all that from me.
Don't be fooled by the adorable faces. This one can be skipped.
I'm Bill Biscayne, and if you touch my diapers, you're fired.
Before we unveil our #1 pick, here are some honorable, or in this case dishonorable, mentions.
Who is this? Oh.
That's my mom.
Awkward.
Boo boo.
That's it. That's it.
What do you get when you cross a Smurf with a cow?
Blue cheese!
#1, The Garbage Pail Kids Movie.
Ew, gross!
More than anything, families deserve really good movies. Families don't deserve movies that pander to their target audience, or teach questionable morals, or are shockingly unpleasant to sit through.
My tummy hurts! What did you eat? Everything! That'll do it, all right.
All of these pieces of criticism have been levied at this film adaptation of the popular trading card series.
Allie, you ate my burger.
Was that yours?
Yeah.
Oh yeah? Prove it.
I can't. You ate the evidence.
Labeled by some as a gross, unfunny, and poorly made film in the guise of family entertainment, the Garbage Pail Kids movie was criticized for its repugnant and annoying title characters, dark environments, and baffling excuse for a moral center based around what true ugliness really means.
Ugliness is not in a mirror. Ugliness is cruelty, meanness of spirit, greed.
Spoiler, it makes no sense. Some say this movie belongs in a garbage pail, but even that may be too good a fate for it.
Well, perhaps it would have been safer to lock them away from the world.
Do you agree with our list? What movies would you hate to watch with your family?
Dale, go get the first aid kit.
For more enjoyable top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Stupid cork doesn't. Whoa!